Yes, I tried. And then account line item I tried. Oh, and then search. If we search name phone city that not displayed in
Okay,
that only
right. You're searching for here, right?
ratings.
Hmm.
Uh,
Voice is breaking. Voice breaking.
ratings I did, and then
Hmm.
I
How
asked
will
about
you? Okay. You guys are able to see my screen, right? Browser.
Yes, Rajit.
Okay. So we have a 4 components here, right? So we already given the component name as well. The composing, right? How will you compose the components? We have filter accounts.html at the top. Uh, we have a search results account HTML below the filter account. Okay, and inside we are going to have a account line item, which will get each account record in the loop. I mean template for each, isn't it? So we already discussed this. So we'll just work on these two components first. Okay. So filter account. This is going to have 3 interfaces. Filter account is going to have 3 interfaces, 3 input component. One is a normal text input text box, and the other would be a 3 again input, but the checkbox, and we have another input slider, lightning slider, isn't it? So there are 3 input component we are going to have. So we'll just work on it. Okay. Then we are going to create search results account.html. So we'll first create this interface first. So filter account.html. I'm going to include a lightning card. Inside we are going to have these input components. Okay. And, lightning input. By default, it's going to be text only. Even if you don't give also, it's going to be text. And uh, these two inputs should be aligned horizontally, right? These two inputs should be aligned horizontally. So what I'm going to do, and we also have a label at the top. If you use a label here, let's see how it looks like. Okay, what is the label? Search key. So this is simple input. Next, right. Now I'm not going to give a, yeah, I'm going to give a label. Label is hot. Label is hot. And what is the type actually to render the input in the form of checkbox? Checkbox, isn't it? Oh, hot, cold, form. Okay, able to follow? Able to follow? Then I save this, and we are going to have another input, slider. You know how to bring the slider here? The basic slider see here. Okay, and yeah, so this one we can consider, right? This one, slider volume, or else variant. Positioning. Rather, I'm going to use a different one. Let's refer the material here. I'm going to use a different one. Slider. Okay. And uh, label is going to be annual revenue. And instead of this, I'm going to set minimum and maximum. Minimum and maximum. If you see here, we have a attribute called min max. So that will set the range. Uh, you know, like this. Like this. Minimum would be 0 and maximum would be this value. Okay. So min equal to in our case it's 0 and max is maximum value of the input. The default is 100. Okay. I put something like this, right? For now. So we'll deploy this. We'll deploy this and see. So we are going to create a Lightning app, and first let me create the Lightning application. I say customer project. I'm not going to add anything because we are not yet created any tab now. Now I'm going to create a app builder using app using app builder. For now, I go with this type of yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to add our at the top. So if see here, no, the component is added, but it's not as expected, right? The way it renders is not as expected, because we're expecting the input interface input component in horizontal order, right? It's not in the vertical, but it's currently in vertical format. Can you suggest how can I spread this three input, search input, a checkbox, and a slider as you are seeing in this requirement? Sunilji, you know that how to spread this? There are three inputs we have, right? There are three inputs. I mean, I just say this one input, three checkboxes, and input regular text input, and a slider. So basically, what you're going to do, we are going to search the account based on the name, based on the rating, filter. You can say filter, and you can also filter based on annual revenue value. Okay, so the accounts initially all accounts should render here. Then you'll apply the filter. According to the filter, you'll see the accounts here. So tell me now how to spread this, because normally when you create this interface with lightning input, everything is looks horizontally, right? Sorry, vertically. So how to spread this in horizontally? Is there any other approach we have?
Grid, SLDS grid.
Okay, grid is one approach.
Yeah.
I would prefer lightning layout for now. Grid, you can also try with the grid. So it is not about yeah, it's what you're saying is right, but when you try it, you will come to know what are the difficulties or how exactly you can implement, right? So giving you approach is a very simplest I think way you can handle the problem, but that is not the actual way you can learn. Okay, you just try it yourself with help of grid. But now I'm going to use layout now. Right, and then what is the style for layout? Layout item. So just put this here. Okay, and then I'm going to use another layout item. All these inside. One more layout item for okay, and we can set the size, right? You know, right? We can define the size for all these three inputs. We can define the size. A6, okay, and how much we can give? Maybe 3, or we say 4, 6. So 9. Then how many is left over? How much is left over? 9 plus 3, right? Correct. And this one I'm going to make it as Let's see how it looks like. Right, but still it's this is fine. This is also okay, but this is looks like a appearing next to next. So how can I arrange this? I define the size. The size is basically this whole thing. But how can I define this within layout? Right? Nested I can use, right? Remember we discussed sometimes back when you walk through the some failure project, I believe. Layout, and again I'm going to use layout item, right? And for each layout item, I'm going to use okay, and right, what I'm doing, what will happen? So this will each one will take a will spread horizontally because layout item, right? Like this, okay. But you will see like the uh, it is basically rendered at the top, aligned with the label. Okay, so for the whole thing, we can add some label at the top. We'll try that. For the whole thing, we can add a label at the top. So what I do, below the layout item, I'm going to use a para, okay, where I'm going to give the label. So what is the label here? Rating. Rating should be at the top, right? The requirement I given at the bottom, but search key at the top, rating should be at the top, annual revenue should be at the top. So I given rating at the top. Okay, now it's okay, more or less it's we are able to get the interface, but what is missing actually, everything these two things are without space, it's being rendering next to next, right? So how can you adjust this? How can I adjust this? Yes, what is missing? Finish padding, no?
Yeah, padding.
Okay, then we'll have this interface at this level now. Right? More different. status. So right now the component is, the interface is ready. Almost, we are able to bring the as as given in the requirement. Okay, now what we are going to do, when user enters any text, we are going to pass that input data to another component. But these two are two different components. We are going to place it in the same page. We are going to place it in the same page. There won't be any parent-child relationship. Both are two different components, but they are going to appear in the same Lightning page. Okay. So now we know how to get the input from a user. We'll go with on change event. Am I right? On change. We can call a method. Name it as handle search. Handle search. Search key. Handle search key. Makes sense to you? Able to follow? Now I'm going to get that value. How will you get that value? How will you get that value? What our user entered? To this property, I'm going to add. How will you add to this property? The water value entered by user. Event dot. Event dot.
Target dot value.
Target. It's going to be target or detail.
Target, right?
Okay.
Ranjit.
Right. Let's put this for here and see whether you're able to get this input. Okay. And then value. The property you're referring here, right? It's working. Fine. Absolutely, it's working, right? So and now this input needs to be passed to the another component. Okay, so we are not yet created the component, but my question is, how will you pass a data from one component to another component which are not in the same DOM? Which means what? There is no parent-child relationship. There is no sibling relationship. Both are two different independent components, but are available in the same page. Then how will you pass the data from one component to another component? We are able to get the data, but how will you pass this data?
LMS, right?
So Sunil, are you aware what I'm talking about? Sunilji,
Yes, sir.
is it what you're talking about? When you pass the data from, when you only communicate two different components which are not in the same DOM, LMS. So what is the first step before you implement LMS, what is the first ever step? What is the first ever step you'll do? We need to create the LMS file. Am I right? So where you will create it? Sugandhi, where you will create the LMS file?
In
Okay. So below the default
LWC,
folder,
right click.
yeah, below the default folder, you'll create another folder called message channels. So below which I'm going to create a file. Say I name the file as filter change, but the extension should be message channel hyphen meta.xml. So this is going to be the extension. And the content should be the standard content, right? You're already aware. Yeah, I copy this. And paste it here. Okay. And we are going to pass the name for now. So I name that field as search key. There is one input we are going to pass. Okay. And this, I'm going to implement this, deploy this. Right. Now, I'm going to publish from filter account HTML, right? We need to publish here, no? So what are steps involved? Publishing the LMS. Using the LMS in any component. What are the steps involved? Do you remember? There are two statements you have to import, right? Okay. One is you have to import the services like a publish and a message context. From LMS message service. Okay. And then we have to import the LMS channel as well. What is the name of the LMS? Filters change. Okay. And right, we need to give some name. Filters change message channel. So this is any name you can give, right? A standard reason we are giving it in caps. MC means message channel. From at Salesforce slash message channel, and then you need to give a the channel name. What is the channel name? Filters change. What is missing here? While importing, while referring the filters, the message channel name, what is missing here? We should have double_c. Am I right? Okay. Next, we need to wire this service to a property. wire this service to a property. So what is the best practice says? You give the name, same name, right? Necessary context. So this is a property wired with this service. Okay. Now, when user enters, we need to publish it. When user enters something, we get the input, and then we need to publish it. So how will you publish it? Next to this. Next to this, how will you publish this? What is the procedure? You remember how to publish the publish? There are three input, right, for the publish method. This method I'm talking about, right? We are using this service. So what is the first one? First input is going to be this context, wired context. This dot, this property, comma, the imported module name. Okay, and then finally the input. Input is, for now, input is going to be this HT. Just 1 minute. I am sorry. Now, do you remember the input, on change event? If you do this, what will happen? Every character you entered, the publish service will be invoked. How to delay this invoking? How to delay this call in on change event?
Set interval.
Set interval, and we have a set timeout, right? The standard way of JavaScript framework to delay the a function call, right? Delay something to perform, but you just delay for the defined time interval. So I'm going to declare a constant. Say this much time interval, and we are going to use the set time, isn't it? The set time method, which will take a 2 parameter arrow function, right? And next to that, yeah, and then yeah. So this right, this one, and inside which we are going to have our logic. For example, constant constant filter, right? And see, this one we cannot give like this. This is going to be a in the form of JSON format like this. Am I right? Okay, so this one I'm going to give as filters. This filter I'm going to define at the here. Get my point? So this is going to be in JSON format. Okay, and let me quickly refer the passing data example. Okay, just 1 minute. Yeah, payload. See the payload thing? Yeah, the payload, what the parameter name, the message channel, that parameter name you have to give at the left side, right? So I'm referring the what is the name? Search key. Okay, search key. So search key. Not this one. The search key from message channel. On the right side, I'm going to give this one. You get my point? Is there any semicolon? No. You get my point? What I'm doing now? To this message channel payload, this is called payload, right? To this payload, we are passing whatever we get in the defined time interval. Okay. Are we in right direction? I think it should be a declaration. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense? Able to follow this totally? So we just include these two import statement at the top, and then on change, we get the input and publish it. Are you good now? Shall we proceed now? Now, this is fine, but how to test this? We need to have another component to subscribe, isn't it? So which component in our example now? It's going to be search results accounts.html. Okay, so what we are going to have here? We are going to have some initially it's going to get accounts, all accounts from the database. So through Apex, okay. So here we are going to use import the Apex schema, and we're going to have a for each template for each to get all the accounts and iterate, isn't it? Template for each some property, and for item some property name. Right? No. So here we are going to import the Apex and get the data by wired call, right? It should be a wiring method. It's not imperative call, isn't it? So, and that Apex class should accept this parameter. Which parameter? The filter. The name we should pass to the Apex class. So shall create the Apex class first. Then we'll come back to this JS search account result. So account controller.
Hi, Ranjit. I have a call at 1 o'clock, as I said before.
Okay. So
My meet.
it's already an hour. That's fine. We'll create the Apex class, then wind up. We'll continue tomorrow.
Okay.
You carry on. We have to complete this Apex class, then we'll continue tomorrow.
Yeah, please upload this video in the YouTube so that I can.
Sure. Sure.
Thank you.
Carry on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Now we are going to have a R enabled method here. Okay, and of course it should be a static list. We're going to return the list of account. The method name I name it as get accounts. Okay, and inside the try catch, I'm going to have the select statement. Okay. ID, name, phone, annual revenue, rating. What we need now, right? Name, phone, city, annual revenue. Of course, I also pull the rating. Then from account, okay, and then where like we're going to have this input, say search key, right? Search Apex key. So I'm going to give this by prefix and suffixing the a wildcard character. Okay, so string search pattern. We're going to build the pattern now. You get my point? What I'm doing? Like this. So this is what I'm going to give it here. Make sense? And we need to return this, right? List of account ACC list. See, yeah, we have to return here, right? Return it. So this must be a variable should have declared outside, correct? Yeah. Yeah. I would suggest go with the capital. Right. Are we done now? By this. Okay, it's deployed. So what next you have to do? You have to refer this method JS here over here. Okay. Import get accounts from X account controller dot get accounts. Right? And this must be wired with a property. This must be wired with a property. What is this? This one. It will take two things, right? One is going to be a the method that imported. Another one is going to be a parameter. what is the parameter name? Search apex key, correct? Search apex key colon whatever input we are passing, which means here whatever input we are getting from filter accounts, this one, what we are passing, that we are going to receive it and pass it here. Okay. For now, I just put like within single quotes, hard code the value, say test. I have some accounts in the starting with the name text. Okay. This is going to be wired with a property accounts. Okay. And this is what we are going to iterate here. Correct. And what are you going to iterate here? Accounts, just accounts, or accounts dot data or something? Accounts dot data, right? That contains it's an object, right? Account. And here we are going to have a key, correct? Account dot ID, correct? Then I just put like account dot name here. Just put the display the name alone for now. Okay, so this we can deploy and test this whether we are able to get all the accounts here. Then we can wind up. Then we have to implement the subscription right, the subscription part of your LMS we have to implement here. You are able to follow what I'm doing, all of you? Response, please. We're just 2 people here. We don't get anything here. There is some issue, right? It should render the account details. No, I'll see whether if I have any account in the name test. I was assuming we have some account, but let me check. Am I audible to both of you? Hello? I'm audible to both of you. I just put init. Am I audible to both of you? You have to speak out.
Yes, sir.
Sugandhi, you there? It seems not working. Accounts dot data, account dot ID, account dot name. Fine. Get accounts. Okay. Account controller, United. Search apex key. Okay. Search apex key. Can I put system debug here and see whether we are able to get the input? Like no. Okay. We'll open the developer console. Listen, and I save this. Then back here, refresh, and in developer console, I should get the log here, right? Yeah, we got it, and we'll see whether debug log. Okay. I think the Apex is not being invoked. Account controller, get accounts. Okay, get accounts. Is there anything missing here? Account controller dot get accounts, get accounts, get accounts. HT night accounts. So one thing is missing. It should be void method. We should have a cacheable equal to true, right? Isn't it? In void method, we should have a cacheable equal to true. Parameter should be included, no? Okay. Oh, that one. Oh. Okay, I don't know what's the issue. Will you try that from your end? We'll continue tomorrow. Copy this code and try. Copy this and let me know. It is in the project folder. Okay. Yeah, check this and let me know if you're able to resolve. Right? We'll connect tomorrow.